Hello, I'm Brian Wallace, and this here is my Uncle Jerome. He's a veteran from the Korean War, and I'm interviewing him today on what it was like for him in the war. So, Uncle Jerome, were you drafted, or did you enlist, and how old were you when you drafted or enlisted?
I was drafted December the 15th, 1952. I was 20 years old.
Okay. Where were you living at the time?
I was living at 2033 Biddle Street.
Okay. Why did you join the war? Like, what made you want to go into the war?
Well, I was drafted, and once you get in the military, you take your training, and they designate where you go. I took 8 weeks of basic training in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and from then I went to Fort Belvoir, Virginia, for the engineers. That was the engineer center.
Okay. Why did you pick the service branch you joined?
Well, the government, I was drafted into the Army, to the U.S. Army. And I went on from there to train. I took the infantry training, and I went to the engineer center at Fort Belvoir, Virginia, for the Army.
Do you recall your first days in service?
The first day,
Yeah, the first days in service.
oh, yeah, well, I took a train from Union Station, and we went to Camp Crowder, Missouri. That was the Army Processing Center. You go there, and they issue your clothing, and they start processing you to where you will go to take your first 8 weeks of infantry training.
Okay. What did it feel like for you, like as far as like in your service and like in the war?
Well, fortunately, when I went to Korea, thank God, the war ended 30 days after I got over it. But I wasn't on the fighting line. I was a heavy equipment mechanic. We worked on, they build the runways and things, but we worked on the cranes and the bulldozers to maintain the airstrips over there.
Okay. Tell me about your boot camp and training for in preparation for the war. Was it hard, and how did you?
Oh, the boot camp in Fort Leonard. Well, I took training in January. It was cold up there, the ice and snow. I mean, it was rough. Well, you're a young man, and you got to get into the process of being into the military, with the physical education and the combat training and all the marching and everything. But it teaches you, if you don't know neatness, they stress that point. Well, you have to be neat with your clothing and the area where you live and all that sort of thing.
Okay. Do you remember any of your instructors, like your drill sergeants or people that were in charge?
Oh, yeah, I remember some of them. In the infantry training, I remember Corporal Gilbert, and the platoon sergeant name was Curtis Simonson. He was a Korean veteran.
Okay.
They put you through a whole lot of stuff. It's rough, but they process you to be men.
All right. How did you get through the basic training? You say it was rough, so how did you get through that?
Well, I took training it was severe weather up there in Fort Leonard Wood. You had to be on the ground, and well, you learn how to shoot your rifle, and how to survive anyway, and to protect yourself in case you're into combat.
Okay. Also, as far as like the war, did you said it ended 30 days after you got there? Did you see any actual combat at all?
No. The combat was further north in Korea than where I was.
Oh, okay.
We landed at Seoul City Air Base. It was a great day. And I was a young man, and I saw all the environment over there. Of course, you're in the combat zone, and you're scared, because you don't know what's coming next until you once get there and get settled.
Okay. How did you stay in touch with your family back home?
Oh, by mail. I remember that far away, you think about home. I remember my first Christmas over there in Korea. They were playing Christmas carols and things like that. I thought about the big festivities they had home. My mother did all the cooking, and they played Christmas carols. I mean, that was touching. That really hurt for it to be that far away from home.
So you were homesick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, what was it like just being on foreign soil, like for the first time? Like in Asia, like in Korea, what was it like?
Oh, after a while, it wasn't that bad. You witnessed the people's culture over there. I mean, during that time, people had shacks and, they had substandard facilities over there.
Okay.
But I gave those people respect because some of the troops treated them the way they did black people back here. That's why I sympathize with those people.
Okay. Did you feel any pressure or stress while you were over there?
No. Actually, after a while, I began to like it. I was a mechanic, and I had a partner. I met good guys. We become close.
Okay.
Some of those guys I'll never see again, but you have a bond. It's all how you carry yourself.
Okay. Did you take any photographs while you were there?
Oh, yeah. I had a camera. I sent a whole lot of pictures back home.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a camera bug in my family.
Where did you travel while you were over there? Like, where did you go?
Well, we took a ship from California to Japan. I was on a boat for 29 days. But we went to different places, but we never got off the boat until we reached our destination in Japan, and we flew a plane from Japan to Korea, a C-124 Goldmaster. I mean, it was a big baby. It was the kind of plane that hauled trucks, tanks, and everything. It was scary. You see a plane that big, and you know if anything happened, you could give it up. It was scary.
Did you make any friends like with your fellow soldiers while you were there?
Oh yeah, I met guys from California, Ohio, Chicago. Like I say, it's good guys. But one of the best guys I met over there, you would never believe it. His name was Joe Tidwell, and he was from Philadelphia. And he said, Jerome, if you ever in Philadelphia, look me up. But he was talking about Philadelphia, Mississippi. And I know I wasn't going down there, but he was a good guy. I never will forget him. He was a white guy.
Okay.
He'd give you anything.
Did any of your fellow comrades in the war, did they experience it differently than you did? Like, did they go into combat at all?
No, we were in a maintenance group.
Okay.
Just like I said, we worked on heavy equipment to maintain the airstrips over there and different things where they needed bulldozers. If they were building different areas of living facilities or something like that. I was a heavy equipment mechanic.
Okay, so it was maintenance work, just mechanics.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I actually learned more from working with the Koreans, like on the job training, than I did in school. It's like you can take theoretical, but once you get on the job and when you start doing it, that's why you learn. That's like on the job training.
Okay. Did you stay in touch with any of them, your fellow soldiers when you got back?
Yeah, but one guy named was Herman Francisco. He was from Chicago, and James Reed White. He was in Colorado. One time they came here.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you do when you got back?
Oh, when I got back, I was reassigned to Fort Sheridan, Illinois, and I came back home on a 30-day furlough. And when I went back to Fort Sheridan, they reassigned me to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. I had 6 more months before I got separated from the Army.
Did your time over there, did that impact you at all? Did that change you at all?
Well, I tell you, the worst experience I had over there, it was 6 other guys and myself. We were working on some heavy equipment at a rock quarry. That's the closest time I almost got, I could have got killed. There were some guys, instead of them setting off the explosives like they should have, we saw a big box up on the cliff up there. And we heard a shot. And we didn't think nothing of it. Instead of the guys using a detonator and clearing off everything, he shot it off with a rifle. And we were all down there working on the equipment. All the rocks fell down, they tore up equipment and something like that. And I was pretty shook up after that. When I got back home, I couldn't stand firecrackers and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Other than that, everything was, it was good over there.
Everything was fine.
Yeah, the experience, you couldn't beat it. When you go to the different countries like this, you live and learn.
Okay. So, I'll close it. I pretty much asked what I had to ask.
Well, if you got anything else,
You don't know what that. Here's another thing. What did you do with your friends? Your fellow soldiers. What did you do for fun? To occupy yourself sometime while you were over there.
oh, well, we over there, it wasn't much to do. We had a place where we could drink beer, and they had a recreation where you could play ping pong. You could shoot pool and like that. You find a way to entertain yourself.
Okay.
It was just the stress, being away from home and being homesick. After a while, you think there's nothing back here. That's where I felt sometimes. I felt like I'd been over there all the time. I was over there for a year. It seemed like that's all it was.
Okay, so you just had to entertain yourself,
Yeah, you found yourself to occupy the time to keep from being stressed. And when you meet friends and you have connection together, you talk about times, you play music and all that, that's what you do.
Okay. Did you keep a personal diary that you wrote certain events or thoughts down?
No.
Okay.
Just the memory. I remember just different things that happened over it.
Was there anything like that you kept on you for good luck, say a necklace or a watch or a bracelet or a ring?
No. Well, I did a lot of praying.
Well, that's better than luck.
But that's right. When my mother prayed, that's what brought me back, because I could have got blown up over it. But the experience was great. You travel on the ocean, and you get a chance to see how other people live.
Okay. Well, that's all I have to say. Ask for this interview. Thank you, Uncle Jerome.
You're perfectly welcome.